Welcome back to Learn English Easy. Today's phrase is, the cat sits on the mat.
Repeat after me. The cat sits.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I know, I promised I wouldn't do the English teacher voice again, but it's just too much fun.
I am judging you deeply. Almost as much as I'm judging the 2026 Golden Globes, which, I mean, we have to talk about.
Oh, we are getting to the Globes, but first
Yeah.
I have to address something. I saw your Instagram story.
Oh, no.
The latte art,
Ah.
the perfectly angled book.
Ah.
Are we pivoting to cozy core influencer? What's happening?
It was field research. I was literally reading the Digital 2025 report.
It's like you were auditioning for a tea sponsorship. But you know what? If your niche is spreadsheets and vibes, I fully support you.
You can mock me all you want, but as we're going to see in the data, grandma core is the fastest growing demographic online. I'm just ahead of the curve.
All right, you might have a point there. We have a huge stack today, and there's this weird thread that connects everything. We're going to break down the Golden Globes and the gentrification of podcasting.
Then we're diving into that Digital 2025 report. Spoiler, the internet is getting older.
We're also tracking iShowSpeed's just completely chaotic tour of Africa, the sad beef between the legends and Dipset.
And then we need to take a really serious look at the video evidence in the Renee Good shooting in Minneapolis.
From the red carpet to the body cam, it's all about who's holding the camera. Let's dive in. First up, the Golden Globes.
The 83rd ceremony, hosted again by Nikki Glazer.
And sure, we can talk about the winners, but the real story here feels like this battle for relevance.
Completely. I mean, you look at the big winners, and it's just the old guard flexing. One battle after another, the Paul Thomas Anderson film.
4 awards?
4 awards. It's a great film, don't get me wrong, but it's very traditional cinema.
And Timothée Chalamet winning for Marty Supreme, beating DiCaprio. I feel like a torch is being passed, but it's all staying within the safe walls of Hollywood, you know?
Exactly. But you can see the cracks. Hamnet wins Best Drama. Jessie Buckley wins Best Actress for a role that is just pure, raw grief. It's a howling performance.
And what music did they play for her walk-up?
Stevie Wonder's Isn't She Lovely?
It's just completely tone deaf. It's like, did you even watch the film?
Right. It shows this massive depth connect between the glossy show they want to put on and the actual art they're supposed to be celebrating. But the real friction point, the part that actually matters to, our world, is the new category.
Yeah. Best podcast. This drove me crazy.
Me too.
To me, it felt like the cool kids in high school finally realized the chess club was making money, so they decided to invite them to the party, but on their terms.
That's the perfect analogy. It's an annexation. And look who won Amy Poehler's Good Hang.
Which is a fine show, I'm sure. It's
Yeah.
funny, but it's a celebrity interview show.
It's safe. It's basically a TV talk show without the cameras. It's not what drives the medium.
Meanwhile, the actual titans, the Rogans, the true crime shows, the political commentators who get 10 times the audience,
Yeah.
they were just invisible.
Because they can't be controlled. Hollywood loves podcasting now because they see it as IP. They can turn into TV shows.
Right.
But they only want the podcasts that play by their rules. Giving the award to Amy Poehler is the industry saying, we accept you, but only if you look and sound just like us.
It's the gentrification of the audio space.
Yeah.
They want the real estate, they just don't want the people who built the neighborhood.
And they definitely don't want the controversy.
Yeah, speaking of controversy, let's pivot to the reality of who is actually online.
Right.
We have the Digital 2025 report from We Are Social.
Right.
And while Hollywood is busy awarding itself trophies, the demographics of the internet are shifting in a way I did not see coming.
You're talking about the Silver Surfers.
I am. The data shows the 65-plus age group is the fastest growing demographic for digital adoption, period.
And it's not just like checking email once a week. We're talking about deep integration into their daily lives.
Video calls are up 1.7% just in the first quarter of 2026 for that group.
And the why is what's so interesting. We used to think of a digital native as a teenager. But now if you want to reach someone online, you're just as likely to be talking to a retiree.
So my joke about your lifestyle vlog, it actually makes sense. Your target audience isn't hipsters, it's grandmas who want to see a nice bookshelf.
Hey, there's a huge market there. But it kills this idea that the internet is just a young person's game. It's a utility now for everyone.
And the search data backs that up. This was the aha moment for me in the report.
What part?
We assume everyone is online to argue on Twitter or watch dance videos. But the report says over 50% of internet use is to learn how to do things.
It's the death of the instruction manual.
Totally. You need to fix a sink, you don't read a manual, You search for a video.
And they're not even Googling it anymore. They're searching on TikTok.
TikTok is the new Google. The top hashtags prove it. It's not just dances.
Yeah.
It's hashtag green screen, hashtag POV,
Mm.
but also these deep dives into stuff like hashtag anime.
It's an information engine. But then you flip to the other end of the spectrum, the youngest demographic, the iPad kids,
Oh, Gen Alpha.
and their search history is, well, it's a lot of Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast, T-Series, and Cocomelon. It's pretty clear we have a generation being raised with a screen as, like, their main pacifier.
And their whole interface with the world is fundamentally different. They expect everything to be searchable, on demand, and super high stimulation.
Which is the perfect transition to the king of high stimulation, iShowSpeed.
The bridge between digital chaos and the physical world.
We've been tracking his Speed Does Africa tour, and I think if you're over 30, it's easy to dismiss this as just some streamer yelling.
For sure. But you'd be missing the scale of what's actually happening here.
This is soft power. He's visiting 20 countries, Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya. And he's not doing, like, press junkets or official tours.
No, he's just there,
Yeah.
live streaming the absolute chaos.
There was that incident in Nairobi, right?
Yeah.
Where a crew member was hospitalized.
Yeah, with a spinal injury. The crowd crush was that intense.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's totally unmanaged. But you have to look at the impact. When Speed goes to a market in Lagos, millions of Gen Z kids are seeing it. Raw.
They're not seeing a polished Visit Egypt ad. They're seeing the energy, the people, the noise. He's basically a one-man tourism board.
That's a great way to put it. He's bypassing all the traditional media to shape the perception of an entire continent for a generation.
That is a staggering amount of power for one guy with a camera.
And he's leaning into the identity part of it, too.
Right.
The DNA face reveal to confirm his Angolan roots.
Which adds this whole other layer of roots tourism to the spectacle. It's just fascinating because it's so messy. The crew member who got hurt, what was his name? Slippy.
Yeah, and his quote was basically just, "Nothing stops us."
It's this relentless content machine, but that machine is shaping reality for millions of people. For a kid in Ohio, Africa isn't a chapter in a textbook. It's what they see on Speed Stream.
So you have the new guard, Speed, using the camera to build an empire. But can you look at the old guard? The guys who basically invented this style. And it's kind of sad. We have to talk about Dipset.
The diplomats, legends, absolute legends.
I was reading this great piece from Complex on their legacy, and they really did change the game in the early 2000s. They were the original internet rappers before that was even a thing.
They were. Before Dipset, New York rap was so serious, so gritty. And they brought in the pink furs, they brought humor.
Cameron asking how Jay-Z could be the king of New York wearing sandals with jeans. I mean, that is still an all-time cultural critique.
It was about puncturing that self-serious balloon. It was brilliant branding. But watching them now, it's tough. Did you see the Instagram stuff between Cam and Jim Jones this week?
The heating bill beef. It's a tragic comedy.
It's mostly just tragic.
I mean, these are the diplomats. These guys defined fashion for a decade. And now they're on Instagram stories arguing about whose heat is off because it's 7 degrees in the Bronx.
Jim Jones commenting, "You soft and you want to play pull-up." It's the Sunset Boulevard problem. They pioneered this transparent put your business in the street style.
Right.
But when you do that for 20 years, eventually the business you're putting out there is just old guy problems.
It kills the mystique.
Mm.
I don't want to know about Cameron's utility bills. I want the pink fur. I want the fantasy.
But they can't turn it off. They're kind of trapped in that persona. They have to keep feeding the beef because that's the only way they know how to stay relevant.
It's a cautionary tale for someone like Speed, honestly. At some point, the camera stops being your friend and starts being your cage.
That's a really powerful way to put it.
And that, I think, leaves us to the most difficult part of today's deep dive. We've talked about cameras for entertainment, for clout, for beef. But we have to look at the other side of this whole always recording world. Because sometimes the camera isn't for content, it's for survival.
You're talking about Minneapolis.
Yeah. The killing of Renee Good. This story, this one has really been keeping me up at night, mostly because of how different the official narrative is from what we can all see.
And that gap between the official report and the video file, that's where everything is right now. So let's just reset the facts. January 7th, Operation Metro Surge.
Which, right off the bat, that name implies a war zone mentality. They dropped 2,000 federal agents into the Twin Cities.
Exactly. So tensions are incredibly high. You have Agent Jonathan Ross, an Iraq war vet, a firearms instructor, and you have Renee Good, a poet, a mother. She just dropped her child off at school. She's not an activist, she's a civilian.
The official ICE report came out almost immediately, and it claims she used her vehicle as a weapon, that she ran him over.
That is the standard I feared for my life defense. If a car is coming at you, lethal force is on the table. And that's the story that would have stuck if this were, say, 1995.
But it's 2026.
Yeah.
And Renee Good's wife, Becca, was filming from the passenger seat.
And the phrase ran him over becomes impossible to square with the physics of what you're seeing in that video.
She was driving away. The car reverses, then moves forward, angling away from the agent.
He didn't fire at a threat coming toward him. He fired at a person who was passing him, 1 shot through the windshield and 2 through the side window as the car went by.
It changes the entire context. It shifts it from self-defense to, well, to something else entirely.
Exactly. And look at the fallout. Protests in Minneapolis, Chicago, New York. You have the governor and the mayor calling for investigations, criticizing ICC's presence. But without that video.
Without that video, Renee Good is just another statistic. Suspect used vehicle as weapon. Case closed.
The video is the only thing that disrupts the state's monopoly on the truth. It's the only witness that can't be intimidated.
It's just terrifying to think how many of these stories we never saw. How many narratives went completely unchallenged before everyone had a camera.
And that's the through line for today, isn't it?
Yeah.
We started with the Golden Globes, highly produced, scripted, completely controlled. We looked at iShowSpeed chaotic, but still a performance for the camera. And we end here with Renee Good, with a shaky, terrifying piece of footage that captures raw reality.
In 2026, if it isn't filmed, it feels like it didn't happen. But even when it is filmed, we still have to fight over what we're actually seeing.
The camera is supposed to be this objective witness, but what we're learning is that the camera doesn't just record reality, it complicates it. It creates stars, it fuels beefs, and in the case of Minneapolis, it provides the only available counter-narrative to official power.
So the question for you to think about is, when everyone is filming, are we seeing the truth? Or are we just seeing a million different angles of a reality that's already fractured? That's it for this deep dive.
See you in the next deep dive.